All right, listen up. You think you know pain? You think you know struggle? You think you've seen chaos? Believe me, I've been to the bottom of the barrel, scraped against the concrete, and clawed my way back to the top. And I'm here to tell you, pain isn't your enemy. It's your damn fuel. It's the raw, unrefined energy that, if you harness it, can launch you into an empire you never thought possible. This isn't about some touchy-feely kumbaya nonsense. This is about real power. This is about Wall Street instinct. This is about the primal drive to conquer, to build, to dominate. Forget the excuses. Forget the self-pity. We're stripping away the noise, cutting through the bullshit, and giving you the unfiltered truth about what it takes to not just survive, but to thrive, to command your destiny. Most people, they shrink from pain, they run from discomfort, they look for the easy way out, and what does it get them? A life of mediocrity, a future defined by regret. Not you. If you're still listening, you're different. You've got that spark, that burning desire to be more, to achieve more, to have more. And I'm here to show you how to ignite that spark into an inferno. We're going to talk about discipline, about purpose, about the relentless pursuit of your vision. We're going to talk about taking back control of your most valuable asset, your time. And we're going to show you how to use every setback, every challenge, every ounce of pain as a stepping stone to building an empire that stands the test of time. This isn't a motivational speech, it's a reprogramming session. By the time this is over, you won't just feel different, you'll be different. You'll think sharper, move faster, and build with a certainty that makes others tremble. Are you ready to stop negotiating with life and start commanding it? Let's go. The Unbreakable Hour, your daily dominion. Let's get real. You want to change your life? You want to build a fortune? You want to conquer your pain and forge an empire? It doesn't start with a miracle. It starts with 1 hour, just 60 minutes. That's it. Most people are sold a lie. They think success demands 24/7 hustle, endless luck, or a silver spoon. Bullshit. It starts with 1 hour of intention. 1 hour of discipline. 1 hour where you decide to work on you instead of watching someone else live their life. Think about it. Most people are busy. Oh, they're busy, all right. Scrolling, rushing, repeating the same damn mistakes, but are they growing? Very few. They don't stop, they don't think. And because they don't think, they don't change. But you're different. You're here because you're searching. You're ready. And that 1 hour, that's your launch pad. Win the morning? Win the day? How you start your day, my friend, determines how you live your life. It's not just a routine, it's a ritual. And that first hour, that's your window, your foundation. Most people, they give it away. They wake up, grab the phone, check messages, news, what everyone else is doing. They don't check themselves. They don't ask, what do I want today? What do I need to become? What am I building? If you don't program your mind in that first hour, the world will do it for you. And trust me, the world doesn't always have your best interests at heart. It'll feed you drama, distraction, noise. Before you know it, you're reacting to life instead of designing it. So here's the challenge. The first step to your empire. Take back that first hour. Make it yours. Before the emails, before the scrolling, before the chaos. Get up a little earlier. Not because it's trendy, but because it's transformational. Use that hour to build you. Read 10 pages of a killer book. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Yeah, even a wolf appreciates the hunt. Plan your day with surgical precision. Visualize your goals. See the empire before you build it. Move your body. Get that blood flowing. Drink water. Hydration, people. Sit in silence. Let your mind strategize. Do what the old you never made time for. Because here's the truth. If you can win the first hour, you can win the day. And if you win enough days, you win your life. Don't tell me you're not a morning person. Success doesn't care. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Winners don't leap out of bed with fireworks. They decide, they train, they build the habit. So can you, starting tomorrow, make a new deal with yourself. Before you touch the world, touch your future. Use that first hour not to consume, but to create. Don't just wake up, rise up. Your future isn't waiting at 11 a.m. It's waiting at 6 o'clock. So take it back, build it strong, and when the day begins, you'll already be ahead, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You won't just be prepared, you'll be powerful. And that's how the transformation begins. Guard it like treasure. Now that you've taken back that first hour, the next step is crucial. Guard it like treasure, because people will try to steal it. Not with a gun, no. With a notification, a favor, a meaningless task, a casual, hey, can I just... And suddenly your hour is gone, vanished, given away to something that builds their life, not yours. You have to understand this hour. It's not free. It's not casual. It's not for leftovers. It is sacred. It is strategic. And if you don't protect it, no one else will. Time is like money, but even more dangerous to lose. You can always earn another dollar, but you'll never get back that hour. So what do? We put up a fence. We say, this is my hour. No calls, no emails, no scrolling, no distractions. Not because we're rude, but because we're serious. You got to get serious about your hour like a builder is serious about his tools, like a farmer is serious about his soil. Because this hour, if you use it right, will pay you back 100-fold. In clarity, in skill, in results, in income, in confidence. But only if you don't trade it for crumbs. Don't trade gold for crumbs. That's what people do when they say, I'll just check this one thing. Let me reply real quick. This won't take long. And they end up spending their best hour reacting to the world instead of rebuilding their world. Here's the habit. Every night, schedule your hour. Label it. Set it in stone. No flexibility. No negotiations. Tell your family, your friends, even yourself, this is your time to grow, to think, to create, to build. And if they don't respect it, teach them to, not with anger, but with consistency. Because when you value your time, people begin to value you. The rule is simple. If it doesn't grow you, it doesn't get your hour, period. This isn't just about productivity. It's about priority. It's about saying, my future matters enough to defend it. And that first hour, that's your front line. So guard it like it's rare, because it is. It's the hour that separates the average from the excellent, the wanderer from the leader, the talker from the doer. Guard it today, celebrate it tomorrow. Wall Street instinct, direction before action. You know, it's not enough to take the hour, and it's not enough to guard it. You've got to know what to do with it. That's where most people go wrong. They're active, they're busy, they're doing things, lots of things, but are they doing the right things? Here's the truth. Action without direction is a recipe for frustration. It's like being on a treadmill, sweating, grinding, running, but going nowhere. So before you jump into your hour, before you dive into books, before you start building, before you hit play on a video, ask yourself one powerful question: where am I going? That question unlocks everything. Because if you don't have direction, you won't have progress. You'll move, but you won't arrive. Direction is the compass. Action is the engine. You need both. So let's get practical. At the start of your hour, take 3 minutes. Just 3 to get crystal clear. What is my goal? What sits the skill I am building? What am I trying to improve today? And most importantly, why does it matter to me? Write it down. Don't keep it in your head. Get it on paper, because clarity on paper becomes focus and action. As Jim Rohn used to say, reasons come first, answers come second. You've got to know your reason, because when you do, the rest becomes obvious. Now let me give you a warning. If you skip this step, if you jump straight to action without intention, you'll waste the most precious resource you've got, your focus. And here's what's worse. You'll confuse movement with meaning. You'll feel productive, but you'll stay stuck. That's why direction matters more than speed. Because it doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're going the wrong way. So take the time to aim. Take the time to ask. Take the time to align your actions with your outcomes. Because a man with direction, he walks slower, but he gets further. So tomorrow morning when your hour begins, don't just start doing, start deciding. Decide who you want to become. Decide what matters most. Decide what step brings you closer to the life you've been dreaming of. Because direction turns your hour into a mission. And when you live with mission, you start walking a whole new path. And that path, clear, focused, intentional, is the one that leads to change. Learn for an hour. Grow for a lifetime. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's this. Success doesn't just come from doing. It comes from learning what to do. And the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Here's the good news. Learning is simple. It's not about going back to school. It's not about expensive programs. It's about setting aside just one focused hour a day to feed your mind. That hour, that's your edge. That's your secret weapon. Because when most people are watching nonsense, you're watching growth. When they're drifting, you're developing. And over time, day by day, that learning starts to separate you from the crowd. Jim Rohn said it best. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So, what do you learn during that hour? Read books, listen to mentors, study success. Pick up biographies, personal development, communication, health, wealth, mindset, the stuff that moves the needle. Because the more you learn, the more you see. And the more you see, the better choices you make. Now let me be clear. This isn't passive. You're not just scrolling quotes and hoping something sticks. You're intentional. You pick up the book, the course, the notebook on purpose, and you say, this is my growth hour. And let me tell you, an hour a day adds up. In 1 year, that's 365 hours. That's more than 9 full-time work weeks invested in your own mind. You do that for a year, and you won't even recognize yourself. Your language improves. Your confidence rises. You speak with clarity. You think sharper. You solve problems that used to stop you cold. Why? Because you've been stacking wisdom bit by bit, page by page, lesson by lesson. And the best part, nobody can take it away from you. Skills can be learned. Confidence can be built. Knowledge multiplies. And it all begins with that one quiet hour. So here's your next step. Pick your materials before your hour begins. Don't leave it to chance. Stack 3 books on your desk. Cue up the podcast. Open the course you've been putting off. And when that hour starts, go in deep. Because every time you open your mind, you expand your future. And the man or woman who learns daily earns continually. So don't skip this. Don't rush this. Make learning a habit, and you'll make success a lifestyle. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Let's get something straight. Learning is powerful, but learning without doing is just entertainment. You can read every book, watch every video, listen to every podcast, but if you never apply what you've learned, you're not growing. You're just collecting. See, success doesn't come from what you know, it comes from what you practice. Let me repeat that. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Why? Because action is where skill is born. You don't become a speaker by reading about speaking. You don't become fit by studying exercise routines. You don't master anything by sitting on the sidelines. You've got to step into the arena. Now here's the mistake most people make. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they're confident. They wait until it's perfect. But here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes from action. Every time you practice, you get sharper. Every time you try, you get better. Every time you show up, you grow up. So what does this mean for your hour? It means that at least part of that hour should be hands-on. If you're still learning to write something. If you're still learning to speak, practice out loud. If you're learning business, build the plan, make the pitch, take the call. If you're learning design, open the software and create. No more waiting, no more prepping, just doing. Because repetition is the mother of all skill, not perfection, repetition. You don't have to get it right the first time. You just have to get it going. And then you refine it, improve it, polish it. That's how professionals are made. And here's something else. When you practice daily, your progress becomes visible. You can feel it. You can measure it. You start to trust yourself. And that trust, that's the real win. Because a person who trusts their own effort becomes unstoppable. So here's the challenge. Take what you learned yesterday and apply it today. Even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if it's awkward, just start. Because doing turns knowledge into power. And 1 hour of bold, focused, imperfect action can do more for your life than a lifetime of thinking about it. Reflect, refine, repeat. The feedback loop of greatness. You know, life doesn't improve just because you keep moving forward. It improves when you stop and look back with purpose. Too many people go from one day to the next, one task to the next, one goal to the next, without ever asking the most important question, how did I do today? That's where the growth lives. Not just in the doing, but in the reviewing. Jim Rohn used to say, a life worth living is a life worth recording. And I'll add this, a life worth recording is a life that keeps improving. Now let's break this down. At the end of your hour, not the beginning, not later, not tomorrow, but at the end of your hour, take 5 minutes to reflect. What did you learn? What did you accomplish? What did you struggle with? What will you do better tomorrow? It's not complicated. It's just honest. And most people won't do it. Why? Because it forces them to face their own patterns. It reveals whether they're moving forward or just spinning in place. But here's the power. Reflection creates clarity. Clarity creates improvement. And improvement creates results. Now, once you've reflected, don't stop there. Next step, refine. What can be tightened? What can be removed? What can be added, improved, upgraded, simplified? You don't need to overhaul your life every week. You just need to tweak the process little by little, because excellence isn't a giant leap. It's a series of small, intelligent corrections over time. Think of it like this. Airplanes are off course 90% of the time, but they constantly adjust. And guess what? They still land exactly where they're supposed to. Why? Because they reflect, refine, and repeat. And that's your formula. So every hour you invest in yourself, reflect on it, refine it, repeat it tomorrow just a little better. Do that for a week, you'll notice a shift. Do that for a month, people will notice it. Do it for a year, your life will never be the same, because those who learn from experience grow slow. But those who learn from evaluated experience, they grow fast, they grow strong, they grow wise. So don't just live your life. Examine it, shape it, elevate it, reflect, refine, repeat. That's how you go from ordinary to exceptional. The engine of your empire, 1 hour of health. Let me tell you something most people forget. Your body is not just a vehicle. It's the engine of your life. And if the engine fails, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are. It doesn't matter how clear your goals are. It doesn't even matter how much money is in your account. Because when health breaks down, everything slows down. You see, the body and the mind are connected. You can't think straight when you're tired. You can't lead when you're weak. You can't build when you're burnt out. So what do? We invest 1 hour a day in the most important machine you'll ever own, your body. Now listen, I'm not saying you need to be a bodybuilder. I'm not saying you need to run marathons. But I am saying you need to move. You need to breathe. You need to stretch. You need to sweat. Because when you honor your health, you elevate your energy. And when your energy goes up, your results go up with it. Let me say that again. Energy is the fuel for achievement. Want more focus? Move. Want more drive? Sweat. Want more peace? Breathe deeply. And the best part? It doesn't take all day. 1 focused hour. That's it. Walk in the morning. Stretch your body. Do some yoga. Lift some weights, or simply step outside and get the sun on your face and the air in your lungs. Because here's a Jim Rohn truth. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Now let me give you a warning. Neglect is quiet at first. A few skipped workouts, a few too many processed meals, a few extra hours sitting in that chair, and suddenly the body starts breaking down. Not all at once, but slowly, silently, until one day the price shows up in the doctor's bill, in the energy crash, in the missed opportunity you weren't strong enough to grab. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. So take the hour, protect the hour, use it to build your strength, not just your skills, because you can't give your best if you're running on empty. You can't lead others if you can't even lift yourself, and you can't live your purpose if you're constantly managing pain. Thus, starting today, treat your health like your future depends on it, because it does. 1 hour a day to walk, to stretch, to fuel, to rest, to keep the doctor away, and success close by. Build a fortune in the quiet hour. Let me tell you something important. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living, but profits, they make you a fortune. And to build profits, you don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need a team. You don't even need permission. You need 1 hour, one quiet hour. Now, most people get home from work and they shut down. They say, I've done enough. So they sit, scroll, watch, and wonder why nothing changes. But that quiet hour, right before bed, right after dinner, that's your chance. It's your space to build something that's yours. Not for your boss, not for your paycheck, but for your future. In that hour, you can start your side business. Learn a new high-income skill. Write, plan, sell, build. You don't need a fancy office. You don't need a perfect setup. You just need a little hunger and 1 hour that you don't give to the world. Now, let me be honest. The results won't come in a day, but that's not the goal. The goal is momentum. 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 260 hours a year. That's not small, that's massive. That's a product launched. That's a brand started. That's a future created. But only if you treat the hour like treasure, not as time to waste, but time to build. You don't build wealth with wishes. You build it with work. Quiet, focused, consistent work when no one's watching. And here's the best part. If you do that long enough, one day you'll look up and realize something. That little hour built your confidence, built your income, built your independence. And it started when you made one simple decision to stop wasting the quiet hour and start using it to build your fortune. The power of connection, relationships built 1 hour at a time. Now let's talk about something most success books leave out: relationships. Because what good is a fortune? What good is a strong body, a sharp mind, a big bank account, if you don't have people to share it with? Success without connection is empty. You don't build a good life just by building businesses or habits. You build a good life by building people, and that takes time, that takes care, that takes presence. But here's the good news. Just like you grow wealth with 1 quiet hour, you grow relationships the same way, 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of real conversation. 1 hour of listening, not just hearing. 1 hour of putting the phone down and looking someone in the eyes. You see, people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And they feel it when you give them time. Now, I'm not asking for 10 hours a week. I'm not asking you to become a therapist. All I'm saying is give someone in your life your full attention for just 1 hour. Your spouse, your child, your parent, your mentor, your friend. And don't just sit in the same room. Be there. Ask questions. Share stories. Laugh a little. Or just sit together and be quiet, because presence is powerful. Let me tell you what happens when you do this. Trust starts to grow. Walls begin to fall. Love multiplies and connection deepens. It doesn't take a fancy dinner or a big trip. It takes 1 hour of your heart with no distractions. And I'll say this, the people who know how to build great relationships, they always win in the long run. Because in the storms of life, and they will come, money won't hold your hand, success won't hug you, but relationships will. So schedule that hour. Make it intentional. Because if you don't invest in people, you'll wake up one day surrounded by things but feeling completely alone. And here's the truth. A rich life is measured in memories, not just milestones. And memories are made in moments. Moments like this. Moments that begin with just 1 hour. So the next time you think about success, remember this. Don't just build your future. Build your people, and do it 1 hour at a time. The unstoppable mindset, from pain to power. You've heard it before. Success is built one step at a time. Well, I'll say it a little differently. Success is built 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of discipline, 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of building, 1 hour of investing in your mind, your body, your future. Now here's the problem. Most people underestimate what 1 hour a day can do. They say it's just an hour. What difference does it make? Let me show you the math. 1 hour a day, that's 7 hours a week. That's over 300 hours a year. That's more than 7 full-time work weeks. Now ask yourself, what could you do with 7 full-time weeks focused only on growth? You could write a book, learn a high-value skill, build a business, change your health, master your mindset, or even rebuild your life. But you don't do it in a rush. You do it by stacking the hours one on top of another, each one building on the last, brick by brick, quiet, steady, strong. That's how a future is built. Not in a burst of energy, but in consistent effort. Now here's the secret. Small disciplines don't stay small. They expand, they multiply, they shape who you become. Every time you show up for that hour, you're casting a vote for your future. You're saying, I'm not wasting my life. I'm not waiting on luck. I'm building something that matters. And that decision made daily creates momentum. It creates confidence. It creates results. Because when you add up the hours, you add up the progress. And when you add up the progress, you start changing your identity. You go from someone who waits to someone who builds. Now listen, there will be days you miss it. That's okay. You're human. But don't let a missed hour turn into a missed week or a missed year. Always come back. Get back to stacking, because time is passing either way. And one day the question won't be, did you dream big? It'll be, did you use your hours wisely? So stack them, protect them, and one day you'll look up and realize you didn't just change your habits, you changed your life. The silence, their fear, rise above the noise. Let's talk about a secret weapon that's more powerful than any shouting match, any argument, any frantic defense. It's your silence. Most people, they feel the need to explain, to justify, to prove themselves. They argue with doubters, debate the haters, try to convince everyone. And what does it get them? Exhaustion, distraction. You don't need validation from people who never had the guts to get in the arena. Their noise is weakness, dressed as wisdom. So let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them talk. You are not here to be understood. You are here to win. You are here to evolve. You are here to outgrow, outwork, and outlast every limitation they try to put on you. The second you start moving with confidence instead of consensus, your life will change. The second you decide to value peace over popularity, you will find power. Not everyone will clap for you. Not everyone will support you. That's part of the process. You don't need a choir. You need commitment. You don't need cheerleaders. You need conviction. Keep your eyes on the vision. Keep your ears closed to the nonsense. You're not in this to be seen. You're in this to conquer. You're not in this to entertain followers. You're in this to lead, to build, to dominate. Focus is a competitive advantage in a world addicted to distraction. Everyone's looking everywhere but where it counts. Everyone's chasing noise while the few, the obsessed, the focused, are stacking wins in silence. That's where you want to live. That's where the results are. Don't argue. Don't explain. Don't debate. Just work. Just improve. Just execute. Make your progress so loud that their opinions disappear. Make your discipline so consistent that their doubt can't keep up. Make your rise so undeniable that the same people who ignored you now ask how you did it. You don't owe them a response. You don't owe them access. You don't owe them anything but silence. That's the language of the focused. That's the posture of someone who knows where they're going and isn't looking for directions from people stuck in place. Let them talk. You keep building. Let them doubt. You keep grinding. Let them laugh. You keep rising. Because noise can't stop someone who's already decided they're gonna win no matter what. It shifts the balance of power back into your hands. You stop waiting for the world to catch up with your goals. Instead, you start building them regardless of whether anyone else understands. And this is where true freedom comes from. Freedom from the need to perform for others and freedom to create at your own pace. Conquer pain, forging steel and fire. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your fuel. It's the fire that forges steel. Most people collapse under pressure. They look for distractions, for someone to blame, for reasons why they couldn't, instead of finding a way they can. You're not like them. You don't fold, you forge. You take the fire and use it. You take the pain and convert it. You take the isolation and grow through it. You weren't built to be soft. You weren't designed to be carried. You are the engine. You are the fuel. You are the driver. So drive. Get serious about your habits. Get ruthless about your time. Get obsessed with your vision. You must stop seeing failure as defeat. It is not the end unless you make it so. Failure is feedback. It is information. It is the sharpening ground of those who do not quit. Every time you get knocked down and get back up, you are proving that your commitment is stronger than your emotion, that your purpose is louder than your pain, that your will is harder than the wall in front of you. And that is a terrifying power, because the man who cannot be broken cannot be stopped. Persistence backed by accountability makes you dangerous. It makes you a force of nature. While others wait for the right conditions, you build in the storm. While others hope to be motivated, you execute on principle. While others look for shortcuts, you build foundations. This is what separates those who try from those who triumph. Not talent, not timing, but relentless persistence, ruthless accountability, and the daily decision to do what must be done, especially when you don't feel like it. The life you want will not fall in your hands. It will be built by your hands. It will not come through wishful thinking, but through intentional action. Every principle you've heard, definiteness of purpose, self-discipline, immediate action, organized planning, accurate thinking, persistence and accountability is not theory. It is law. It is structure for your rise. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for the right time. You are choosing now, because power belongs to the man who decides, the man who moves, the man who endures. The world does not respond to noise. It responds to force. Be that force. Not someday, not when you feel ready. Now, today, relentless, focused, unstoppable. The law of repetition, rewiring your destiny. You think you can just watch this once and your life will transform? You think you can kill a decade of fear with one round of motivation? You think you can erase old programming with inspiration alone? Bullshit. Your subconscious mind does not respond to one-time information. It responds to repetition. To imprint a new belief, you must burn it in again and again until it becomes more familiar than your doubts. Repetition is the language of the subconscious, and the strongest loop always wins. If your old loop is "I'm not good enough," it will dominate until a stronger one replaces it. If the dominant signal in your life is hesitation, that will become your identity. But if you feed your mind day after day with power, with certainty, with a voice that reminds you of who you really are, then the old voice loses volume, not by force, but by frequency. That's why auto-suggestion is not optional. It is the method, the tool, the mechanism by which you reprogram who you are at the core. And how does it work? You play this again. You speak the lines aloud, not casually, but with energy. You memorize the phrases that strike you. You repeat them in your mind when resistance rises. You let this message become your mental software. You don't listen for entertainment. You listen for identity installation. Because you are not just here to feel better. You are here to become unrecognizable. Close your eyes. Say this to yourself with conviction. I am not afraid. I act without hesitation. I am focused. I am certain. I am becoming who I was meant to be. Feel what happens in your body when you say those words. Do you feel it shift? That's not imagination, that's neural reinforcement. That's your identity being updated in real time. Now multiply that by 90 days. You say it once, it's a spark. You say it every morning for 90 days, it's a circuit. And you speak it until it becomes your baseline. Until the words don't just sound strong, they are your voice. Because here's the law. What you feed forms you. What you repeat becomes you. So don't let this message fade. Don't treat it like a video. Treat it like a ritual. Build your morning around it. Make it part of your environment. And if someone asks why you keep playing the same message again and again, tell them this. Because I'm not here to be entertained. I'm here to be rebuilt. Your mind is programmable. Always has been. The only question is, who's writing the code? From this moment forward, you are, so play this again. Speak the words with fire. Walk into your greatness. Unlocking your potential. The Wall Street Code. Let's dive deeper into what it truly means to build an empire, to unleash that unshakable Wall Street instinct. It's about more than just managing your time. It's about mastering your entire existence. Every successful person, every visionary, every titan of industry, they didn't get more hours in the day. They just used them differently. They understood that success isn't a stumble into chance. It's something you build hour by hour, decision by decision. Most people don't have a time problem. They have a priority problem. While some are wasting time scrolling, others are investing time building. While some are hoping, others are planning. And while some are surviving the day, the successful are designing their life. This isn't about mere hustle. It's about wisdom. It's about the small, intelligent changes that turn ordinary days into extraordinary results. Definiteness of purpose. Your unwavering aim. The greatest power in the universe is the power of a clear, unwavering, unshakable aim. A target burns so deeply into your subconscious that it becomes impossible to ignore. Even in silence, even in failure, even in doubt. This is not a vague dream, not a list of goals, not a wish list typed into a phone at midnight and forgotten by morning. This is purpose written with fire, carried with discipline, protected with your life. Because without purpose, your energy scatters. Your hours are stolen by distraction. Your focus is hijacked by the next shiny thing. You chase a dozen paths and master none. You build halfway and then walk away. You mistake movement for momentum, activity for achievement, noise for direction. But when you become a man or a woman with definiteness of purpose, your path narrows, your vision sharpens. You stop waking up wondering what the day will bring and start commanding the day to deliver what you have already decided. That's power. That's the beginning of transformation. Look at every man who changed the course of history, and you will find a purpose behind his steps. Henry Ford didn't aim to be wealthy someday. He decided to revolutionize transportation, and he pursued it with a focus so sharp the world had no choice but to adjust. Charles Schwab didn't dabble. He knew what he was there to build. His purpose was so magnetic that others followed, not because he demanded it, but because his clarity made hesitation impossible. Abraham Lincoln didn't drift into greatness. He made a decision so clear, so final, that not even a divided nation could shake it loose. That's what you need now. A final decision, a line in the sand, a sentence that lives in your bones, so clear that your mind orbits around it every single day. Let me ask you, do you know your purpose? Do you know, without a doubt, what you are here to do? Because if not, no strategy, no system, no motivational video will save you. Your progress will always be temporary. Your habits will collapse under pressure. Because the one thing that holds it all together is your why, your decision, your purpose. So write it down. One sentence, not 10. One, what is it you must build before your time here is done? Who must you become? What must you become? What must you give? What is the result that your life demands? Not because it's easy, but because you decided it matters more than anything else. That's your purpose. And once you have it, you read it aloud every morning. You write it by hand every night. You don't wait to feel inspired. You rehearse it until it replaces every other thought. This is the foundation of all confidence, to wake up and know where you are going. You don't compare. You don't scroll. You don't flinch, because your steps are already assigned. Everything you do, the food you eat, the books you read, the habits you install, the words you speak, the risks you take, it all bends toward one thing, your definite purpose, and that gives you spiritual immunity against distraction. You no longer envy other men's paths because you are locked into your own. You no longer fear failure because you know it is part of the construction. You no longer need approval because your purpose gives you authority. And from that place, the decisions become easy. Clarity becomes your compass. Time bends in your favor because the universe, your mind, and every atom of your being begins to conspire around one thing: completion of the mission. But without that purpose, even the best habits will drift. Even the strongest man will fall. Even the most brilliant mind will chase things that don't matter. Etch it into your soul. And this is not for someday. This is not for when life calms down. This is not for when life calms down. This is the day you stop living like a leaf in the wind and start moving like a builder with orders from within. Say it now. I know my purpose and I follow it without apology. I no longer wait for clarity. I generate it. My energy is sacred and my direction is locked in. This is the Wall Street Code. Self-discipline, the bridge to your empire. Self-discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. It is the force that separates winners from watchers, builders from beggars, and leaders from followers. You can have ambition, you can have talent, you can even have opportunity. But without self-discipline, it all crumbles. It all stays locked inside you, wasted, unrealized, forgotten. There is no success without control, no power without restraint. If you cannot command yourself, you will be commanded by everything else. The phone will control your mind. The food will control your health. The laziness will control your time. The people around you will control your energy. Discipline yourself to wake up 15 minutes earlier today. Discipline yourself to exercise even if you don't feel like it tomorrow. Discipline yourself to stay focused on your work without getting distracted the next day. Each of these little acts of discipline may seem small, but when you add them up over time, they create massive results. Here's something to think about. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower. It's about creating habits. When you make something a habit, it no longer requires as much discipline. It becomes automatic. So part of improving your self-discipline is building habits that support your goals. For example, if you make it a habit to read 10 pages of a good book every day, you don't have to rely on willpower to learn and grow. The habit takes over, and your discipline becomes effortless. I once knew a young man who was incredibly talented, all the potential in the world. But he lacked discipline. He would start projects with great enthusiasm, but he would never finish them. He'd get distracted by the next shiny object. Don't be that guy. Discipline is not a feeling. It is a decision followed by action, over and over again, regardless of the mood, regardless of the weather, regardless of how tired you are, how discouraged you get, or how far away the finish line looks. This isn't about hype. This is about grit. This is about doing the work even when it doesn't feel good. This is about showing up when no one's watching, grinding when no one's clapping. Remember, life is a journey, not a destination. And that journey is made up of the small daily steps you take. Every day you have the opportunity to improve. Every day you have the chance to become a little bit better than you were yesterday. When you make the commitment to improve yourself every day in every area of your life, you will find that the journey itself is the reward. It's not about making a giant leap. It's about taking one small step at a time every single day. And when you do that, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve over time. That's the real secret to success. It's not about luck or talent or even hard work. It's about the small disciplines, the daily improvements, the little choices you make every day. And those choices, my friends, are in your hands. The rule of 100, mastering your inputs. Most people think their goals should be about outcomes. I want to make $1 million. I want to lose 50 pounds. That's a rookie mistake. Because when you define your goals by outcomes, you fall off the gas when you hit them. Or worse, you get discouraged when they don't materialize fast enough. I had a buddy, he'd hit 10 grand a month, 20 grand, then 30 grand, and he'd fall off. I asked him why. He said, well, I make the money and I hit my goal, so then I ease off the gas. I told him, it's because you're defining your goals the wrong way. I see you as not hitting your goal every time you're not doing the activities. So, Here's the Wall Street shift. Make the activities the goal. Then you'll hit it every time. And more. At the end of the day, did you do all the things you said you were going to do at the beginning of the day? You can actually control your inputs, because inputs are what drive outputs. Don't make the goal outputs. Ask, what am I going to do that would be unreasonable that I don't hit these outputs? For example, one of my favorite ways of thinking about this is something I call the rule of 100. The rule of 100 simply states that if you do 100 primary actions over 100 days, you'll usually get the first result that you ultimately want. Think about that. 100 days of focused, intentional input, not just hoping for an outcome, but creating it through disciplined action. That's how you build a real sustainable empire. That's how you get addicted to freedom, which doesn't mean you don't work. It means you have the option to work. Humans are at their best when we do work. That's worth doing. When we have purpose that we derive from the effort and the toil that we put in every day. You get weaker when you don't have an opposing force that's as strong as you. You constantly have to raise the bar, or you lose it. It's use it or lose it. Simplify to multiply the power of one. Most people overcomplicate their path to success. They think they need 5 different marketing channels, 3 new products, a dozen different strategies. Wrong. That's a recipe for diluted effort and minimal results. The fastest way to get to your first million, to build your empire, is to simplify. Pick one avatar, one product, and one channel that you focus on until you get there. If you're using paid ads, spend more money on those ads provided they're profitable. Don't add a new channel if your current one isn't maxed out. You're probably not that good at it yet. And that sounds terrible, but it's probably real. Quality is in the details that you only realize with lots of exposure. Think about it like coats of paint. When I write a book, it's not like I sit down and write it. I write the first draft, and then I put another coat of paint on it, then a third, a fourth, each time looking for specific improvements, punctuation, data errors, misspellings, then content. That's how you build something world-class. It's not about doing more, it's about doing one thing better than anyone else. This relentless focus, this elimination of distraction, this is the Wall Street instinct that separates the true titans from the wannabes. Don't diversify your weakness, amplify your strength. You started with just 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of reflecting, 1 hour for your health, 1 hour for your future. At first it felt small, almost invisible, like nothing was happening. But day by day, hour by hour, something was happening. You were becoming someone new. Not overnight, not by accident, but by decision. Because here's a truth you can count on. You don't change your life in one leap. You change your life one consistent hour at a time. The hour you showed up when it wasn't easy. The hour you chose growth over comfort. The hour you practiced instead of postponed. The hour you listened, loved, focused, created. And those hours, they did something powerful. They rewired your mind. They reshaped your habits. They rebuilt your confidence. 1 hour at a time, you started to believe in yourself again. You began to trust your word. You proved to yourself that discipline isn't just a word, it's a lifestyle. And the best part, you didn't need to change everything. You just needed to change one thing, how you use your time. That was the turning point. Because if you can control 1 hour, you can eventually control your day. And if you can control your day, you can shape your future. So here's what I want you to remember. Success is not luck. It's not mystery. It's not magic. It's discipline applied daily. And that discipline, it doesn't take everything you've got. It just takes 1 hour every day, without fail, without excuses. And one day you'll look in the mirror and realize you didn't just change your schedule, you changed your identity. You became the kind of person who shows up, who follows through, who lives intentionally, who walks in purpose, who builds with wisdom. And that, my friend, is the new you, all from 1 hour. So keep it up. Stay consistent. Protect the hour. Respect the process, because it's not just how you spend your time, it's how you shape your life. Parting words and advice. Start today, not tomorrow. You've heard it all now. The habits, the hour, the truth. So what's next? I'll tell you. Start today, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is a promise. Today is a decision. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right mood. Don't wait for the new year or Monday or some perfect moment that never shows up. Just start. Pick 1 hour. Claim it. Schedule it. Protect it like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't have to be great. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to show up. Remember this. Change doesn't happen when you know what to do. Change happens when you do what you know. You've got the map now. You've got the steps. You've got the power. So don't walk away from this video just feeling inspired. Walk away activated.